I want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. They are purveyors of everything you need for your Magic hobby. They have singles, they have sealed product, they will buy your cards from you, and if you want to flip it into other Magic stuff, you can sell it for a 30% bonus in store credit. And they have supplies as well, so if you need play mats and dice and all that stuff, of course they have that. I'm in business with Card Kingdom on a personal level every week. I transact with them more often than just about anybody except my local grocer. So I speak from experience when I say that they are worth having on your list of places to consider for your Magic purchases. They will do right by you, and they basically have everything. So if you need it and you just want to get it done, you go to Card Kingdom and they'll take care of you. Let's see if this draft is going to take care of us. It certainly didn't yesterday. Felt yesterday a lot like I would get into these board states where I had no plan other than hope we severely outdraw them and go around, you know. So hopefully we'll do a little bit better on the draft results today. Okay, I was looking at the chat. We got a ley line. This is as gem pick as it gets. If we take this, we are truly on the gem plan. Quality plan includes, I love the Master Splicer, but white's pretty down low on people's lists. Scholar of the Ages. I have not yet really abused this card, and I would like to. It would be fun to bounce, recur, etc. Boreal Elemental has just been solid every time it shows up. I was in just for the 3/4 flying for 5, but that spell clause has also proved relevant. It does gum up someone's efforts to swiftly deal with the elemental. And then, of course, there's Rabid Bite and Leafkin Druid. Was it Luis who was suggesting Leafkin Druid might be the best green common? I'm still on Rabid Bite, but I get what he's talking about. I have not seen this hubbub about M20 mono red draft. No, is this? I know that that's something that Andrew Cuneo did in the early bots with Dominaria, where Dominaria was at that point I was still just taking the Sultai, but Cuneo and others were showing that forcing mono red led to a significant above 50% win percentage as well for them. I'll ignore gems for now. I really want to keep our immediate gems up for trying to get over the hump for Friday. Yeah, I'm with Seratemi on. I want to try Scholar anyway. This looks sweet. Let's make that work. Howling Giant. I don't often start drafts with 2 7-drops, but it definitely puts us in a direction if we want to do that. Oh yeah, sorry, let me get in draft view for you. Appreciate the reminder. Yeah, I mean, Leafkin being an elemental does not hurt its status. And maybe we do take the other 7 just because there's not much else going on here. I mean, Soul Salvage is cool. Fenlurker is cool, and like that's like a full stop. Yeah, I like Fenlurker. I was just attracted to the Howling Giant, and I like blue-green. I think blue-green is strong in the format. The elemental, any of those elemental combos. But yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, Bucky. Like, let's take the giant and look towards some ramp. Or look towards whatever's best in the pack and completely bail on one of these 2 colors. We don't need to marry these, but that's what I'm thinking in terms of them being a 1-2 first and second pick. Might of the Masses is a strong combat trick, but despite being uncommon, to me, it's just a combat trick. It's just one that can win games. Like, sometimes things go wide. Like, I think this has been very good in the format because it goes so wide, and it can get in spots where you just need to get one thing through, and then you win. But yeah, I'm with you on Spider. Nice Nice dude to hold the ground and the sky while you get to these two. Spider number 2, Woodland Champ. Works with Howling Giant to an extent. Might wheel. It's not, you know, if you're not taking advantage of the token side of things, it's just a bear. But I have found that there's so much token making happening inherently in the set that this tends to overperform. But yeah, we can, if we're just figuring that we're trying to do a thing where we're going long, casting 7s and winning, we do just want defensive bodies. And we might wheel this. I don't think the spider will wheel, but I think I've seen the champ go pretty late by bots. So yeah, we'll take the spider. Yeah, I do too, but like I said, there's a chance he will. Let's pick 4. Maybe it doesn't. Champion is basically a green, white, gold card. No, not at all. There's token making in basically every color. Maybe there's not a lot in blue. But green, I mean, green's got the pup and the and we even have the giant. So anyway, it tends to be everywhere. All right, I'll take this. That's a close one. It's partly hedging on a possible wheel. It might not wheel, but it might. Here we have a yeah, I am continuing to look to things that would drag us away from green or even blue. We only have the scholar here, right? So we could also say, oh, we're not scholar. We're green-red, you know? We don't need to marry that scholar. But there's nothing also here that is making me want to do that. So probably unsummon or Vorstclaw, but we are so big already. We just don't need this with where we're going. So yeah, I think we go with unsummon. Ranted a little bit yesterday about that being an uncommon. I hate obviously rare rules text on uncommons. It just doesn't make sense to me. You want a mediocre dragon at uncommon? Make one. Don't do that. So, yeah, Crasher. Piranha for a 2 or Prophet for a 4. It's not even like we have any 4. We have just the Crasher on 4. Caves. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I have strong... I hate giving up color. Hate giving up color. You can pick up a fishy pretty much any time, it's true, but at the same time, if we don't, you know, it's not any time. That's an overstatement, right? And if we just end up with no 2s, we could be pretty unhappy. But I think the Prophet is strongly playable enough to take over the fish. But I would accept some fish in this deck. Yeah, Norbert, you're right, because we're also in green, making our own big stuff. We want to defend. The ground will be well defended with green. What do you feel like you've been undervaluing specifically, Zach? What do you think you need to raise in your pick order? So here's a Piranha or a Sentinel, 2 mediocre 2s. What is more important to what we're doing? Do we want to be attacking, or are we just trying to hold until we're getting to 7? Probably just want the Piranhas for what we're trying to do in the early game here. I don't know. GRS likes the Sentinel. What do y'all think? Sentinel or Piranhas? Elf or fish? Neither are great, but we may need to end up playing whichever we take here. Yeah. I think I'm with you. Either one, maybe we get lucky and don't have to play either of these, but I think that this is where, from a drafting standpoint, where I try to take that thought perspective of what is the job that we're asking this to do. And I think the job we want our 2-drops to do is to get us to our late game, so I'm going to take Piranhas. Because this does, if I say what I want for my early drops is to help us survive until we cast more powerful late game spells, this does that better. We could take a Sprite here over the second Piranhas, though. Sprite, there's a lot of 2 toughness flyers in the air that Sprite can pump and trade with. Whoever said we could get a fish anytime was correct. We can get a vial in case we end up... I mean, green-blue tends not to have much removal. So... You want Bond. I don't think I want Bond at this point. We're already... We got a lot of stuff going on. We got 5 cards at 4+. I really want to work the lower end. And I'm trying to figure out if... or a natural end for the board is not the worst. But I think with blue-green, we just want the vial. We might pick up the uncommon and multiple things to go fetch. But I found myself bringing in the vial yesterday with our blue-black low removal deck. So in low removal situations, you can do a lot worse than the vial. So I'm going to take that. And it's a 2. You can play that on 2. Zephyr Charge is one we brought in from the board yesterday when we were facing a Skies deck and just needed to use this defensively. Like, we just could not keep up with all the flyers in the air, and this actually helped us stall that game enough to win. I mean, I don't think we won the match, but it proved worthwhile. We have Diamond Knight versus Befuddle, though, is the real pick here, I think. Yeah, this deck doesn't particularly need Zephyr Charge. I was just observing that it actually did have a role for us yesterday. So I think Befuddle over Diamond Knight. This did reasonable work for a near mono opponent yesterday, but I still haven't been super impressed by it and would rather take the Befuddle. Although, like, I was thinking about Baby Teferi and how he's kind of like, he starts out as a what's the bounce spell? Admonitioners, admonitioning. The RNA spell, and how much worse this is. Like, Arrester's Admonition, thank you. Arrester's Admonition, like, sending it back to their hand and drawing a card is such a time buyer. And Befuddle is playable. It just reminds me of how good Arrester's Admonition was. That the job we're asking of Befuddle, how much better Admonition was doing it. And hey, look who came back. No caps, no all caps here, Timmy. You're gonna get... Well, I said that I felt like the bots treat this like a 2-2 for 2. Sorry, I got a text from the wife. We're at Convolute sideboard over second Befuddle. Yeah, maybe even main board over Befuddle. Well, looks like we maybe found the right colors. Gotta like it when you don't pick a land in your first pack and you only have 2 colors of cards. Tail's End. Counter target activated ability, triggered ability, or legendary spell. Not particularly main deckable, especially compared to what else we have here. Are we even... I could see us not being in green even if it came to it. Like, you could take Eagle and pivot to Skies or something, but probably Rabid Bite, Wave Crasher. Yeah, these 4 are all calling my name for different reasons. I liked the Wave Crasher a lot yesterday, but we don't have anything going with ETB triggers except for Scholar and Howler, and that's not really I mean, it is a combo if it happens to play out that way, but we're just not there yet, is what I'm saying. Still might be worth doing. Still big body on the ground for 4. And yeah, bite, right? Bite is tempting to me. That's removal. I think we need to just take removal. Like, we're blue-green and we have a shot at removal. I'm taking it. Here's a weaponsmith we can try and wheel, like I was saying, and keep an eye out for more vials and bows now, because we're almost certain to get this on the wheel. So it's good to see that here. Tomebound is splashable, but Boreal, as I've already professed my love for it, so I think we just pick this up here. Totally want this Gift of Paradise for the ramp, but Elvish Reclaimer is actually a playable rare, so I think we should take it. There's also Sleep Paralysis, yeah. More removal. Yeah, I'm going to take Reclaimer. Slow, but kind of gets you there. Yeah, it technically helps with splashing. And because it's search for a land card, we could even search for like a Rugged Highlands or whatever. There's a lot of ways to deal with sleep, huh? Wow, with nothing here, I kind of want a rare draft and then move on. I guess Blood for Bones is somewhat splashable. And Growth Cycle is playable, but probably wheels. Yeah, Nick, the Reclaimer just thinned the deck. Reclaimer really does help win the long game. And I think we've been seeing a lot of long games in the format. I'm going to take Zombie Dino. But probably not playing him. Here we can... This certainly does the job of helping us get to our late game. Tranquil Cove helps on a splash. Heartpiercer Bow for our wheeled, because I think we are going to wheel that uncommon. Maybe that's, yeah, let's try it. I've not been able to assemble that machine yet. Let's see if we can do it. Scorpion would be easy if we weren't, yeah, I would 100% agree, easy Scorp if we weren't expecting to wheel the Weaponsmith. Yeah, I'm not splashing the dino. We're putting it in the board. It was just gems. You don't... This is good because it's good on turn 3, and you don't count on turn 3 splashes. Totally dig 1 tracker per deck as well, but also dig a pattern matcher. We don't have any patterns to match yet, but if we pick up 3 common creatures that do match, then I just love it. So... Oh, sure. Yeah. I was more supporting you, Hector, not, I was just kind of echoing your reasoning. Yeah, we don't have patterns yet, but I believe we're going to get there. I'm going to spec on the pattern matcher. We're mid pack 2. We're going to pick up some matches. You'll see. It's not a great match, but it is one. I'm going to take this over Flying Pro Red, I think. How many? I don't know. How many are we? Are we happy to play 2 Piranha? We're not happy, but it does. Yeah, we're solid on 2s as well. Yeah, I think I'll take Drake for the sideboard over the Fishy here, just because we're pretty stacked at 2. Here is a Thicket Crasher. We're not really doing the portal thing either, so let's take Thicket Crasher as pattern match number 1. Nothing here at all. Like, nothing. Here's our Weaponsmith. Yeah. Take Highlands or a Bond. The reason to take Highlands is that we do have an Elvish Reclaimer, and that helps us go get a dual land. And Wolfkin Bond is pretty mediocre, although we do have a Woodland Champ. I think these are okay, especially if you have flyers. I really like putting Wolfkin Bond on a flyer. then I'm doing it, which is, and this is the kind of the color pair for that. Oh, you wanted you would have taken the weaponsmith first time around, Nick? Is that what you're talking about, or something else? Yeah, getting 2 for 1 on auras really hurts. That's why we generally don't like this, but it's a 1.5 for 1 when they do that, because the 2/2 wolf token is a real card. That's the thing. This doesn't fully inoculate you against the pain of the aura 2 for 1, but it does it partly and makes it so if you can get this on an evasive creature, it can be worth it. Oh, the champ. I thought you were saying there was another one. I knew the champ was one that you would have taken that I wheeled, but I didn't know what the other one was. You don't get the 2/2 if they kill the target, do you? No, but that's why you generally just don't cast this into open mana and a ton of cards. That's just being reckless. Yeah, okay, I'll take the bond. I don't know if we'll play it, but I think we can take it there over the... I mean, if we want to splash red, we still can. It's just a little not quite as easy. More ley lines in the rare slot that we won't be working with. Seer is nice, but the one reason to lean Boreal here could be the pattern matcher, getting a match on this particular pattern. But the Seer is kind of what I've been waiting for, right? Like, this is amazing. So let's take Cloudkin Seer and try to get a second one and pattern match that. That's what we really want. Don't you need to put the 2 mediocre artifacts in your deck to make Weaponsmith playable? Yes, but they are mediocre, not bad. And we've seen some real work yesterday when Oppo had 2 bows and could start shooting down my 2 toughness. There's plenty of 2 toughness to shoot down. But Seer over Elemental, because it's lower on the curve and it draws a card, we have no 3s. This is like... because this is ultimately a better card than this. Like, they're close, though. They're close. There is a balance point, right? But I do want, in the abstract, first Seer over second Elemental. The only reason I would want second Elemental over first Seer is in the context of Pattern Matcher. Well, even if you decide that Weaponsmith Heart Piercer Bow is sideboard tech, it's really powerful sideboard tech to bring all of that in. The magic machine, the magic hive mind has said this is proving its worth in the format. Like Ben Stark, here's how Ben Stark put it. He was saying, I don't want to misquote him, but he said something along the lines of, the format is grindy enough that it starts to be that anything that generates some card advantage starts to become valuable, is kind of how he put it. So that if you can get a couple of vials and the Weaponsmith drops, then you get these for free. But of course, the penalty is when you draw these ahead of the Weaponsmith. Another point that Luis made on LR is that don't sleep on the first ability. You can end up casting Pattern Matcher for 2 mana effectively, you know? That kind of thing. Vaporkin wants the Ray. What Ray are we talking about? Well, whatever. I'm taking the Seer. Maybe we'll wheel this vial. And I really wanted Drawn from Dreams. That is powerful, but we're gonna... I have really been wanting to play the Risen Reef. I saw Drawn from Dreams and was just fist pumping that we got a playable rare. But I'm not passing Reef. I just really want to play this card. Cliffs could set us up for a late red splash here as well, but there is a second spider, and again, we're pretty low on 3s and we're pattern matching, so I think we take the spider. Here's a Heartpiercer bow we can pick up, and it only costs us really an Octoprofit. It's probably wheels. We only have one. This would be our second bow. We're talking about wheeling the other one. Should we do 3 bows and just mow them all down? Scampering Scorcher does splash well with Risen Reef and what's the other combo? Our dude Champ. I think we can wheel this. What if we try wheeling this? You think we wheel this? Let's wheel the bow. Let's try wheeling the bow and then make... And if we don't... Okay, fine, we have 2 bows, whatever. I think... Yeah, let's spec on the Scorcher Splash. Untrue, Vaporkin. Have you read the card? Read the card, please. Like, come on. You're kind of doing the thing that made me create the vanilla test. I had a buddy, for those of you who haven't heard the LR story, my friend Dave Webb, Dweevicus, who shows up on stream sometime, didn't want to play his hill giant that had the ability to throw a goblin at something for damage because he didn't have any goblins. And I was like, well, pretend it didn't have, like, vanilla test that. Pretend it didn't have any rules text. You'd still play it in your deck. And anyway, this is with no other elementals, this is fine. Anyway, another pattern matcher is interesting. But we're not... We have 2 spiders, 2 crashers, and we're not really matching any other patterns so far. We may still find something. I want to see curve. Hector, that may be true. I don't necessarily know if it was better than the rare without critical mass of elementals. That may be true, but the idea that it's unplayable without elementals is silly. It's absolutely playable all on its own. Plummet for board. I don't know. We got some flyers. We got some flyer defense. I don't know if we need plummet as much as the... I'm going to spec on the second matcher. Unless we're like... Yeah, I'm going to spec on the second matcher. Lavakin. Yeah, it's... I guess if we're looking... But I guess I'm feeling like we're getting away from being able to splash the Scorcher at this point. We're at pick 5, pack 3. And we don't have any support beyond a Elvish Reclaimer. So... Well, you're changing your goalposts now, Vaporkin. Now you're just jumping on Hector's comment of maybe it wasn't worth the first pick. But you said it was not, basically not playable without elementals, which is what I was disputing. So I'm gonna pattern match. Maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't, but if we do, we'll be happy. Here's something that could help us splash, and we're pretty low on 3s. Don't love the pup, but we do have the champ, and 3 was kind of the hole we were trying to fill. Now it's getting pretty full. We got a lot of options there. That's good, but I am going to take the pup here. Another weapons. Wow, I saw this and was like, sweet, because that really, you know, if we are going to wheel a couple of bows, a second weaponsmith is like, yeah. But now look, got to take the druid, right? How do you not take the druid? I don't think there are options. I think we just have to take the Druid. All right, well, we're going to see if our wheels come through. We were hoping to get 2 of these back. Oh, Vial maybe was the first thing we were hoping to get back. Yeah, so we'll take Vial. And I think it's the next pick where we're really hoping for the bow. We'll see. Boom! I don't know if this deck is good, but let's see what we got. Come on, Vaporkin. You're not helping yourself if you're not going to be... you got to cut away your hyperbole. Don't exaggerate. Hyperbole is the enemy of progress when it comes to getting better as a Magic player. Like, I feel like you're trying to be right now as opposed to trying to solve the format best. It's like, come on, stop trying to be right. I'll stop trying to be right. We can meet in the middle and see that Risen Reef may not have been the correct first pick there, but is super fine playable in any blue-green deck. Yeah, well, are we trying Weaponsmith? Because, you know, one thing we could do is just cut the Weaponsmith package. But I think I want to try it. We'll at least start with it, see how it goes. Yeah, Scorcher, unfortunately, is not going to be joining us. Probably means we can cut the Mutt, although I just like the ramp in general towards these. Yeah, Fish can go out. Anticipate can cut. We don't need growth cycles. Don't really have room for them if we're doing this nonsense. Really don't have room for Befuddle and Convolute either if we're doing that nonsense. Now we're starting to get down to the meat of it here. This is a costly, you know, we're using 5 slots on this is a lot. Again, we could do this and be done. Oops, except I overclicked. I still left something out. What did I leave out that was in there before? Claimer. Do this as well. Yeah, I was kind of leaning Sprite. Let's look at our creature numbers too. Yeah, we're at 21 creatures. We can cut away some creatures here. Let's cut away all of our weakest creatures. Maybe even Reclaimer, since we're not really splashing. But yeah, let's look at our Scholar targets. That's a great point. We started here. This kind of got us down this path, but we have a Rabid Bite. We have an Unsummon. And that's it. So we probably just can't even play the Scholar. Oh, Scholar, yeah. It is only Bite Unsummon, but that's a heck of a combo if you can get there. It's just that it does literally nothing if you don't have that. Are we pattern matching? The other thing, we could like cut one of these. We only have we have the Spider and the Crasher for matching patterns. I was clinging to the Bond on the strength of the Champ, but yeah, we can cut the Bond. Hexstar Dragon, how you doing? Rachel Go asks, are you considering Weaponsmith package in sideboard only versus main? We did talk about that during the draft, but I did say that I want to try it main first and see how it goes. Loaming Shaman is mediocre, it's true. It's not, also, it's not a... we can maybe bring that in if we feel like decking is a risk. What kind of combo with Bond and Bite? I'm not sure of the Bond Bite combo you're talking about. Like oh yeah, sorry, to explain the combo, that if you have Unsummon and Rabid Bite in your graveyard, you cast Scholar of the Ages, get both of these 2 back, kill something, unsummon the Scholar of Ages, and repeat. That's what we were talking about. But I don't know if that's worth it. I think we probably just cut that. I'm going to keep both vials. Maybe that's... Well, it doesn't have to be that turn. I'm not saying that turn. It's a 7 mana combo, and then you just do it every other turn. It's slow and grindy, but you just need both of these in the yard first. If we had any other kind of combo for it, I'd be down, but like we're not doing anything. I'm more interested in like Reclaimer plus Scuttlemutt does support the Scorcher potentially. Like we give up on pattern matching entirely and go like that. Yeah, Scorcher is appealing to me both because of Risen Reef and Champ. And with Reclaimer, Scuttlemutt, and a Mountain, we do have 3 sources for it. It's not amazing. This could get stuck in our hand, but the power with the combos it has make me want to give it a try. I don't know. Too bad we couldn't get another Seer. Then I'd be a little bit more all over the pattern matching. Man, this card is fantastic. The bots don't seem to care about it too much, and when you get any kind of quality doubles in your common creatures, it's awesome. Grim doesn't want the Scorcher Splash. Yeah, that's the other. We could cut the Scorcher Splash and put the Sprite back to have flyers that wear the bow better. I'm going to start here. This may be an irresponsible splash, but I'm going to try one. I'm going to try one match at least with it. Yeah, it also has such a lightning bolt on it. It's like draw a card and force Oppo to use premium removal immediately. That's good too. I don't fear the Reefer. But let's start with this. See if this Scampering Scorcher Splash is as irresponsible as it kind of feels, but or if this all is. It's kind of, we're taking some risks here. Let's see what happens. Why didn't they add a Madness mechanic in Core 2020? Madness is an interesting mechanic, but if you look at the guts of the rules, it's actually super complicated and it's hard. It's not a beginner mechanic, Vaporkin. It's an interesting one, but it's not really a beginner mechanic, if you know what I mean. All right, let's update our info here. Yeah, I don't love this deck again. I don't know. Let's see if we can... I like it better than yesterday's, though, maybe. Call this a par 2. Par 1.75. I really hope to get to 2, but it wouldn't surprise me if we just didn't quite have the legs to get there here. What did you think was our most questionable pick? Oh man, I have to go back and look. Let's see, what were some... I wish, I mean, I have regrets. Like, there was some couple times where we could have taken a red land that would have helped with the red splash. Maybe if we had done that earlier, we could have even taken on the brawler. Anyway, see how it goes. I think you're probably right, Grim Reaper, and that's why I'm calling it an irresponsible splash. I want to try it once though. I think when it works, it is impressive. If you get it first and you pull 4 cards from your deck for free, that's impressive. Am I comparing the two? I don't. Somebody might. We might need to mulligan this, although 2 bows onto the seer could produce some sort of an engine, but we only have 2. Like, if this was an island, I might actually keep this. But I think we got to mulligan this one. We're also... This is effectively a mulligan anyway. We're so far from that. We can keep this, though, and throw back one of these vials. We know the weaponsmith can get us at least something. Although, actually, we're going to shuffle our deck pretty quickly here, I expect. Yeah, we have 4 things, 4 targets, and one tutor, so we're far more likely to draw the targets than the tutor. I mean, like, let's say you drafted and played 4 copies of Netcaster Spider. It wouldn't surprise you to see 2 of them in your hand, so it shouldn't surprise us to see 2 in your opening hand, so it shouldn't surprise us to see 2 in ours. I don't need to do that first, but I am going to attack here, not reclaim. I mean, the whole weaponsmith package is predicated on the fact that while this is not amazing, it's not terrible. And we were playing it yesterday with no weaponsmiths in sight, you know, so it's not a useless card. It's just not very efficient removal. We happily play shocks. And if the format is super grindy, there's less difference between actual shock and slow 4-mana shock, if you know what I mean. Like, drawing Vial versus drawing shock on turn 13 or whatever is a very similar situation. Need some land. So does Oppo. I guess we get to cast and equip here. We're not really doing anything else unless we want to keep the unsummon up. We don't even need to do that first, though. Or we can keep Vial up as well. I don't know. I'm going to keep attacking. We're both stuck on 3, but at least we have creatures. And I think bow and equip is correct, because now they can't even really play a 1 toughness creature here. And that's also a good point. Rocky observes that bow combines with Vial to effectively deal 3. Unfortunately, our Rabid Bite not great here against 4 toughness, but we're gonna Weaponsmith and probably do an unsummon, but maybe wait until they attack. They might do something pre-combat to make the Lavakin Brawler bigger on attack, so unsummon can be particularly effective against that type of approach. We can attack with Spider if we're not going to block, which we're not going to do. Yeah, so I'm going to attack with Spider first. Look at me figuring out my attacks and everything before casting stuff. I like being putting the pressure on here, and can't quite get there with the Rabid Bite, unfortunately. But we'll throw this out. We have the Unsummon. And what we really want to see here is Oppo do something pre-combat to pump the Brawler. Hey, we were talking about mono red. Looks like maybe we got someone doing the mono red force here. Great, this is exactly what I was hoping for. So we just buy ourselves a turn here. I like keeping that pressure off, yes. Especially since we can start weaponsmithing. Yeah, get a bow. Well, they both allow us to kill a Brawler. And let's see. Yeah, we'll take a turn off to kill this one. And we'll do it... What do we want to attack with? Hold on. They're both 1 power. What do we say we're going to put in? So right now we could, like, the last cut we were considering, if I decided this splash it was too irresponsible, was to play a Sprite. So this could be a Sprite for us right now, which would be nice with the bows. So there's that. Don't see how you kill it. Well, let me show you. Got to put it here so that they actually can't block and kill the attacker. Actually, it doesn't matter because we kill it here, like this. Oh yeah, I should have attacked with both. Sorry, that's 1 point down. And see if we're gonna see if that matters. In my head for a second, I was like, oh, we can't attack with this because we have to have 3 toughness. Then by the time I realized the 3 toughness versus 2 toughness didn't matter, I'd already committed to my attack. I don't care, Rocky. It was a mistake. People can punt whatever they want as long as it's an actual, for sure, inarguable mistake. That's all I care. That's all I think it is, the bottom line. Sorry, man. I'm sorry too. I thought, okay, we can take 1 more turn off, and then then we can search up the vial and get max value out of it. But, well, I'm gonna remember to attack this time, though. How about that? Still got to do this, or I feel like it might not do what we want. Isn't that the eternal debate, Vaporkin? What does it mean to punt? I feel like we have that philosophical debate every single day around here. But to answer your direct question, a punt is an American football term referring to one team failing to meet their goal and basically giving up the action to the opponent. And it's been kind of weirdly commandeered by the Magic community to refer to a mistake in a Magic game. And how severe the mistake has to be to qualify it as a punt is the how many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man. Well, at any point we could go get a mountain to splash this Scorcher, but I keep finding other things to do, so we're just going to do that. Maybe the answer, maybe the question is, what is a troll then? In which case we know the answer to that as well. How many licks does it take to get to the center? All right, well, we got to give up a lot to do it, but we can get rid of that maw before we die here. We have to, well, actually, maybe not. Depends on what they do. Very close, very close. If we... Yeah, they've got to block. If they block, we have a plan. If they don't block, we don't. I think I'm going to mix it up. Like this. Right now I'm trying to do something to get Oppo to block. And so I'm being a little bit weird with just throwing a bow on each of these. And just kind of like... oh, except then we got to do it ahead of time. Oh, this is bad. This won't work, you're right. Because it blocks and kills the elemental. So we have to hope this works. This is so unlikely to work, but... Oh, and I've already gone to attackers. Well, now we're screwed. Now we're completely screwed. I think this I would not call a punt because I don't think it was going to work anyway. But what I was going to try to do here was move the bow to the Reclaimer. And our only chance is to attack with the Reclaimer, hit it twice with the bow, hit it a third time, and even that's not enough, right? Yeah, we were just screwed. All right, we're just screwed by the dragon here. So we're going to say no attacks and die. I thought we almost maybe kind of sort of possibly had something we could do, and then it was like, nah. Yeah, I am going to get, that's the thing. I'll get a mountain, and then maybe we can do something. I'm saying no, it wasn't a punt because nothing, all the stuff I was working through, none of it actually worked. Literally nothing worked. So there was no punt there. I kind of fuddled, you know, oh yeah, sorry, I got to get the land. That would be a punt to not get the land. But it's not really a punt when there was actually no line that would have been successful. Maybe that's the one thing you could say is a punt. Since both of those are going to die, I should have gotten 1 point of damage in. Yeah, is this to everything? 2 other targets? Yeah, we're beyond dead. No, we're gonna show it because now we're gonna take it out. I think that's not powerful enough. Could be it looked like mono red to me. Yeah, definitely pro red Drake coming in, and we'll bring in the Sprite. Maybe not the Sprite. Maybe over the Pup, though. Pup's not doing much except trying to make a Woodland Champion bigger. beyond that, it's not really not doing much. But this is 40. Oh, because we're low on land. Hold on. This is like, why is it 40? I only made one swap. Yeah, convolute. Good call from Nick. If we want to do something to try and deal with 7-drop bomb. Not splashing, still ramping, so I kind of still like the mutt. Maybe we'd still cut the Sprite and call our Drake the 2-drop we're bringing in, and still cut the pup over the convolute. Doesn't leave much for Woodland Champion to grow on here. Basically Howling Giant. That's not amazing. Could even cut the champ for like a growth cycle just to have some interaction. And also growth Rabid Bite. What about Rabid Bite? Back? Bakla? Bakal? Oh no! Sorry. Acting like I have all the time in the world. $5D chess. Play of the game. Bakalahu. Bakalahu? No, we didn't submit the changes, sorry. I'm gonna keep this. It's got the 2 bows in hand, but we can go get other action. We can get value from the weaponsmith by getting the vials, assuming we don't draw them. But funny that we are seeing it literally every time. Yeah, this isn't ideal, but what would really suck is if we drew vials from here. Well, Rocky, you're just poised with your 1-0 record. I'm ready for you, man. So now we get Weaponsmith, and on turn 3, Spider Bow, and then turn 4, Find Vial, maybe play another bow? Well, no, not mono red. Somehow we lost to a player with only half their deck available, so there you go. Yeah, we can put a stop on upkeep for Weaponsmith consideration next turn. Centaur shuffles. Yeah, if you lose the equipment, you mean. Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying. Vaporkin's talking about the vials, right? The vial plus weaponsmith plus shuffling. That's reasonable. That's a synergy we didn't consider when we cut the 3-2. Oh, sorry. So we were thinking of vialing here upkeep so that we don't accidentally draw one, or at least lower the chances of it. Might draw the other right here. That'd be funny. No, we get a bite. Main. And they know about the vial. But I'm going to equip the one bow and just drop the other one. Let's get the threat of double bow going. We can attack first, though. Although they might have pump. You know, they have Season of Growth, so they could block and pump here. That would stink. But I don't know how much we can play around that exactly. So we'll play a bow here, and I'll replace the upkeep stop, potentially getting another vial. We'll have 5 total mana, 1 to go fetch the vial, and 2 to play, and then yeah, we have enough to do all that. Rabid Bite has not been great with our low-powered early creatures, though. Is there a reason to not get... Yeah, there is actually a reason to not bother with the vial fetch this turn, because then we have... we would only have 4 mana and then a second vial, and we can't... Or we'd have... Yeah, no, we had 4 mana, then we couldn't equip this. Yeah, I'm going to let it go. Because I want to be able to equip the bow and have the threat of the vial. I'm going to go after the spider here. They didn't show pump before, though. Maybe we take the healer out first. Play after combat to not let him know, because we get to choose here. It doesn't matter. I didn't think so. I didn't think it mattered because we can also just let him not block this way. The reason I played it is so that we could do it mid-combat and take the Netcaster Spider out as a blocker. That's why I played it first. Well, that's why I played the Vial. They can't double block. We can take this out on attack. Yeah, I see the timer. If they have it, they have it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for the healer because if they do have that pump, we can vial in response. All right. And now, if they block, we can still vial. So now, with the way I did play it, I should have held it in hand, but that's why I played it first. I wanted the ability to remove the Netcaster Spider as a blocker. And we get Weaponsmith fetch anyway. And I ultimately did go after the healer, right? And I'm not even sure that was right, but my initial thought in the sequencing I did was about going after the spider. Yeah, Norbert observes that casting Vial pre-combat, even in the case of going after the healer, makes some sense because it does give you a response to... pump if they tried to save the healer, which is why I ultimately went at the healer, because I knew I could do that. So maybe I think as I think it all through, playing the Vial out pre-combat gave us a lot of play there that it wouldn't have if we tried to hide it. No need to stop on upkeep. We're going to get it right now. And they know we have it. And they didn't show that. They keep not showing the pump, so I'm just going to do it again. In fact, we can even do this.
Say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
Thank you, Nick. 7 months. Yeah, I could drop... no, I already did next to attackers. Oh, well. But I should have the vial out, because then it does protect against the... They have not been showing pump. Like, they clearly... But they just did a raider, so they could have easily found some pump. But it was a little dangerous to not run this out. Let's go this for this. And this. Yes, all vials were known to Oppo. No, that is there is the +3/+2 for R. So that's kind of what we were supposed to be worried about, but they clearly didn't have it the turn before. So with the Keldon Raider, it would only have been meaningful. Oh, they must be going for Dragon. They clearly have the Dragon in hand, I bet.
No. Too bad.
We're doing all this cute board control. Meanwhile, we're gonna get, like, dragoned out of this. Let's see. Maybe we should be setting up to try and overcome a dragon, which probably means getting a mammoth spider down and being able to do 3+2 + rabid bite or something like that. What? Come on, just let me block. Spider plus bite plus bows and vial. Yeah, so that is the plan in that case. I think. And actually, I would love to play this Risen Reef. Yeah, they played the dragon in game 1, so I'm going to play the mammoth spider now because we need to assume they're going to untap, play a land, and play the dragon, and we need to have a response ready for that. And we do have a sneaky vial that we can use here. Oh yeah, let's go. Did it again with my attacking later. But I want to go... like this. And Chandra is dead or Spider is dead, one of the two.
Keep it up and you'll pay.
Here comes Dragon. Has to be. It's just, why would... I just feel like someone does not go for a land out of their graveyard with Pulse of Marasa unless they're setting up for their 7 here. Howling Giant is the 7 Oppo was up looking for. Interesting. Well... Okay, got a lot of choices here. Got 0 hourglasses, so let's figure this out. We can just snap off the giant with Dragonfire and Bite. They may be sandbagging the dragon, but that would be kind of surprising. Maybe they are, though. I think we can't beat the dragon and the giant, and we need to be continuing to be aggressive here. So yeah, we can, because we can vial with the Renowned Weaponsmith and have 2 left over, we will start with the Reef. The tokens are... Let's go Creature, creature. Do we care about Chandra right now? I'm gonna go for Chandra. Yeah, I think I care about... I just don't want to lose to the dragon and give him more time. But I want to... So I'm gonna go for Chandra.
Next time, you're toast.
Whew, this is going to be tough. More big stuff to get around, and we're not that big. They don't have the mana to trample. I'm going to throw the pup in for race damage prevention here. Well, Druid and Mutt would make for a nice 7-drop top deck, but I guess go Champ, Druid, and then we can cast the Giant if we find the Giant. And I guess we're racing. Although the Weaponsmith can help cast the Mutt. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 on the Smith. We can do it all if I just don't attack with the Smith. Yeah, we'll do the Druid and trigger the Reef first. Maybe I should have done that pre-combat, but I feel like that wouldn't have changed anything about our attacks. Let's do this. Trying to get wide around him at this point. Race that dragon showing up. It is a very grindy format, indeed. (21 to 23) currently on the decking front. Only halfway through our libraries. Well, now they have the trample, so chumping doesn't seem great. I feel like we're doing okay in this race. Maybe I'm overconfident. We should leave something back to absorb some power there. Certainly they're like a pump spell away from having lethal on those types of attacks. But we get... Let's start with Elemental. Blue available makes sense because of Unsummon, so we'll do this. Unsummon would be great. Oh, Pro Blue. Never mind. Has a lot of stuff going on. I was just thinking of it. I was focused on the green activation. Yeah, Scuttlemutt. sneaky helps with that. Well, it helps if we want to block this with the blue creature is what I was thinking of. Yeah. Just trying to figure out what we swing with. All told. And I'm going to say yes, 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 yes. And the question is, do we want Mutt back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 10 damage. Could go 11. But then we are... maybe need to put the Leafkin Druid in front of the Ceratops to absorb some damage. It can if we leave the Mutt back. So either we leave these both back or we send them both. I guess we send everything and try to use the Druid to absorb some damage. We cannot block with the 3/4. We can't. Unless we leave the Mutt back to enable it. Which maybe I'll do here. Tough spot. I'm at 0 hourglass and the fuse was going, so I just had to settle on something there. But we have a reasonable defense here, and they are at a low enough life that they might not be able to afford to attack us because of our possible crackback. All right. Yeah, I kind of wish I had just sent the Mutt now. How much danger do we think we're in? We definitely leaf chump. I'm just trying to figure out if we put anything else in front. Let's try and do some math. 7, we're at 9. If they get to trample... We have 3 of it absorbed, so they can only do 4. They need to add 5. If they have 2 pump spells, they just win here. But I don't. I'm gonna gamble that they do not have 2 pump spells here, or the double strike. Yeah, double strike. Maybe we just lose to that. Nice. I didn't really think about losing to Outrage, but we just did. GG Oppo, well played. Guess I should have been more conservative. Like, we could have thrown more on there. I don't know about that as a punt. We were making a play. See, Media, I don't know. Again, philosophy of punt is perhaps overdone on this stream, but I don't know how you call a strategic decision that didn't work out based on what they had in hand being a punt. Come on. That is the definition of a punt? How, Media? Define punt, then. A punt is certainly not player makes a reasonable series of decisions and then Oppo has something that invalidates it. I mean, I believe Ferengi says punt cannot be a mistake due to unknown info, and to argue Media's side, I believe Media is saying no. It's not that it's not that card wasn't known. It's that range of cards was known, and that we could have done more to protect against more of the possible ways to lose. But Media, I'd flip it back on you and say, but then we lose resources there, and maybe we don't have enough to attack back and win the other direction, you know? So like, it was tough to figure it all out with the clock going down, but I don't think you can call it a punt simply because there were real consequences that we didn't know what they would be towards putting more of our blocking resources towards that creature. You think it's a punt because you didn't need to mutt. It was much more useful to absorb 2 damage than on the crackback, but you don't know that. All you who are like, okay, what? I'd have to go back and look, but let's say we put a bunch of stuff in front of that needlessly. They don't have that particular card. We needlessly throw away additional creatures to keep our life total up. Oppo drops the 5/5, another copy of the 5/5 that makes 2 wolf tokens, goes wide enough, and suddenly not having the mutt to get around their 3 blockers and the reach blocking the flyer means that we didn't have enough to win, right? I get it, Reset Press, but what did you do the math on Oppo drops 3 more creatures? I mean, if you're telling me that you thought through everything there and realized that if they even played the Howling Giant, we still win, then maybe you can start talking punt. But if you didn't have that figured out, then you're talking probabilities. And yeah, and if you're talking probabilities, you can't call it a punt, I don't think, is what I'm saying. Media, I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that that the time traveling supercomputer agrees with me and I'm going to shut my eyes and close my ears and blah 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 blah. I'm right. I'm just saying, I'm just talking about the definition of a punt. Just about the definition of a punt, not whether I am failing to grow as a player by not considering the possibilities of that play. What is a punt? Oh, well. I'm going to cut the Scorcher Gambit. And run the Sprite. Vaporkin pointed out that Loaming Shaman does have some synergy in our deck because if we use up our vials and shuffle them in, we can get them back with the Weaponsmith. It's not major synergy, but yeah. Yeah, Media, I think you're being a little harsh on your line of what constitutes a put a badge of shame on the streamer for their mistake. That's the thing. Yes, you're not wrong about the goal of Magic, but just in terms of when you would call someone out on that. But again, whatever. It's just it's semantics that don't change the assessment of strategy and trying to improve our game anyway. Oh, come on. It is, you know what I mean? You say calling a punt is not a shame at all. Of course a punt is a shame, right? Like, I mean, in the sense you shouldn't be, there's no shame in anything resulting from just playing some games of Magic if you're not being a jerk to your opponent. But, like, I yeah, but punt, yeah, shame is evil. You shouldn't saddle yourself with shame if you can help it. But I'm just saying, mistakes. It's okay to, in a Magic context, consider mistakes as a kind of a shameful thing. Let's continue playing. I think next time we need to be more conservative. I had my reasons. Next time we need to see what our possibility of what they could play afterwards and make sure we can get around it. I mean, that's the thing. We didn't have. If I had time, I think I could have made a better decision, which is another aspect of the punt thing. It's hard to say that you're punting when you have to make a call under the pressure of the clock. We'll keep this. We don't really start until 4, but we have both colors, so let's keep this. Nice. Nice little sequence here. Boom, boom, boom. See if they can... All right. Hopefully our Reef survives for a few turns. Don't kill it. All right, we made it. We made it to Value Town. Maybe. They could convolute this, I suppose. Any flash? There's the 2-1. I guess if we traded that, it wouldn't be the worst. Can't think of any other flash punishers. Sailor also trades, though. I'd trade with the Sailor. Trading for the Sailor or the 2-1 flash would both be decent, so I'll do it. Oppo doing stone nothing for 4 turns despite lots of mana and colors is interesting. I will once again try and land a spell. This is what happened when we cast the Crasher and then it resolved, so I don't know what instant they're sitting on. Maybe an unsummon? Certainly wouldn't want to unsummon any of these. They're just gonna decide that that is impossible to beat. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Vaporkin, we all figured out it's good with elementals. You said it was bad without them, though. You haven't owned that yet. Do you recognize yet, Vaporkin? I want to hear you say, Vaporkin, yes, Risen Reef is fine all by itself. Say that. Risen Reef is fine all by itself. That's the thing you still haven't acknowledged. Let's see. Good all by itself. Well, whether Vaporkin is ashamed of that or not is up to Vaporkin. Anyway, before I run out of time again, let's actually consider if we... Yeah, we didn't see anything, but we saw colors. We can probably expect flyers, but we didn't pick up any plummets or anything, so maybe that doesn't matter. We didn't see red, so there's no Drake to bring in. I guess we're just sending this back. All right, Weaponsmith and no artifacts yet. And a champ into pup, although we'll probably start with a Weaponsmith to make sure we get as much value from that as we can. I don't know, we'll see, but we're keeping this. This is a nice opener. Wow, we even get a 1-drop. So yeah, we do actually have to figure out our sequencing here. We can go Woodland Champ into Ferocious Pup to get an attacking 3/3 on turn 3. Or we can drop this Weaponsmith and start sucking stuff from our library to make sure we don't accidentally draw them. I kind of feel like we can take 2 turns off to risk that and go for actual pressure. And if we happen to draw an artifact or two in the next couple of turns, so be it. We still have more to dig for. Yeah, that's interesting. Kind of, whenever I see that, it makes me think of that 3/5 artifact rare. But we'll attack first here. Golos, yeah. Yeah, good point, Rocky. After game 1, Oppo seems to be strongly suggesting we go for pressure. If we went for a mutt here, we could do 5 on 3, but I think Ferocious Pup adding to the champ value here is the better play. All right, well, we get punishment number 1 for not getting the weaponsmith out sooner, but check out, I mean, they're not really doing much here, and we even get to vial the corpse knight here, which we're just going to do. Next turn we get mutt and smith. Arbor Axis says, dude is gender neutral. I don't know, I'd ask women if they... historically, I've kind of told myself that. Like, dude and guy, like, hey guys. I've said hey guys to a room full of people that contained a mix of genders. And always told myself that was cool. But I've also learned that, guess what? I'm not the arbiter. If, all right, Oppo's done. Yeah, I'm more interested in what Queen has to say about guys and dudes and that kind of language and whether or not it's gender neutral. I'm willing to try and adjust my language to increase inclusivity and a feeling of comfort with our own language. Yeah, we do need a y'all. I've started saying y'all here and there, and I really feel like that should break free from the South and become the nationwide accepted second person plural. I don't know. I think maybe I'm sure some people have said y'all mockingly, but y'all is a great word. Great to have that slot in your language. Folks is a great gender neutral group. Yep. All right, well, as we solve the gender oppression in our language, let's play some Magic. All right, Rocky, see ya. Y'all are crazy, eh? This has happened to us a lot today. The double bow in the opener, at least the third time, and then we had a double vial in a different opener. Real problem here is no blue. Are we keeping this? You get 2 bows and a pup off of... We get some land, it's just okay though. I'm gonna mulligan. I think there was too much wrong with that. And here we're gonna take a chance on... Well, we could dump Vial to just be sure on mana, but I think we're gonna be okay on mana. Do we have any double color? Let's see. Don't know if pitching a forest or an island is better or worse for us. I'm checking the deck here quick. There's a giant at double green, but nothing beyond that. So it doesn't really matter. I guess there's more green, so I'll send a blue. Well, we could kill a Prismite, but I don't know if that's important enough yet. I'm gonna wait. We have big beef coming. Vaporkin wants to kill. I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna see if our creatures do the job. You're late, pup. Now let's see if they attack into the Crasher. If they do, that'll be interesting, because that will be suggestive of removal. See, now I'm happy I kept that vial available. And they did not attack into it, so they're not saying they have any kind of pump. And we can pup and vial. I suppose I could have attacked and maybe they... Oh, this is actually going to tell us if they've got... Alright, so they're going to save that with pump. They're going to save that with pump. We're going to drop the pup. And try and hang on. Even, I'm going to offer this. I don't think they're going to trade the Reef off. If they want, they can... I would actually trade the Reef for the 4-3 here. And as you can see, they don't want to. So that suggests... And they're in heavy elemental colors, which means that even though, as Vaporkin knows, this is perfectly playable and good without any other elementals in your deck, it's insane with them, and it looks like it's going to be insane. I'll offer this trade, though, for Trick or Dog. Thank goodness we have Vaporkin around to tell us that Risen Reef is good with elementals, because we wouldn't have known that otherwise, so... Man, I'm just trying to figure out if we're even like... Again, I should figure this out before I play anything, but I'm going to say no attacks here. I think they would be willing to probably put all these in front of it, and then... But I think we're just kind of dead to our inability to taking care of this Reef. Maybe chicken. That's crazy talk. Dogs are just wolves we've bioengineered over the course of millennia. Yeah, I have these moments where I'll, you know, early on, especially in dog ownership, I was like, oh, it's a cold Seattle rainy fall, but I'm gonna take the dog for a walk, but he doesn't need a coat or anything. He's a dog. Like he evolved for this kind of thing. And I'm like, no, he didn't. Wolves evolved for this kind of thing. We turned wolves into this little mutt at my feet. He's not prepared for this at all. speaking of not being prepared for this at all, we are facing an unblunted Risen Reef assault, and it's going to be rough. We could offer both of these. If they have any pump, we're just dead. Just can't even beat it. But we also can't sit here and take 6. This doesn't have trample, though. I'm going to give it 1 turn of just chump. I like Oppo's deck better than ours. Got some decisions to make now. But with 2 spiders, it gives us some other options to try and double block the fire elemental. And I think we do have to try at this point. I'm going to leave this spider as the best blocker on the board, and we're going to try and 2-for-1 this fire, or 2-for-1 ourselves. And well, the other thing is, if we do this, we're at least trying to 1-for-1 ourselves, I suppose, if we do it this way. I guess we have to do that. We give up the spider. If they have pump, we can't really win. They're not attacking like they do, though. They do have the ability to start converting lands to elementals, so we're kind of dead. Magic, everybody! You can't say I really punted this one, though. We just got wrecked, that's all. And again, this is... it's interesting. Like, I guess this is where maybe Paulo feels like he gets frustrated. This is where I don't even give a, this is why I don't, this is where I don't care. Like, oh well, we got beat by a better deck with a better draw. That's kind of what's supposed to happen here. Yeah, we might be in just give up territory, Vaporkin, but we are at 7 mana. We do have like that giant. I think I want to give it another moment, but I suppose with this thing going off, we're just truly outclassed here. Yeah, I don't think I can't think of a plan that gets us out of this. We don't have enough removal to take this out. Like, our removal doesn't really deal with 5 toughness, and this is going to just turn all their lands into unstoppable stuff. So let's... Usually I don't scoop that quite that early, but there was just not a path there that I could see. We were just going to show info that may be better to keep hidden. I don't see much here that specifically helps with what they were winning with. Yeah, I mean, we could convolute. I mean, I don't know how any of these things actually help. I mean, we play Cerulean Drake over Sprite. But beyond that, I mean, we can bring other stuff, but what's the job you want it to do? Like, when you think about sideboarding here, I want to be thinking about the jobs we're asking these sideboard cards to do, and I don't know what the job here is. Like, convolute to counter what? Something that's way too late because we're already overwhelmed? Like, I don't see what convolute... Like, I like bringing in convolute against the known Insano Dragon, 7-drop Dragon, but we're not facing 7 drops here. The problem is a 3-drop. Yeah, and see, Double D says, growth cycle to block and trade their big guys or animated lands. D, if we're blocking their animated lands, we're screwed. We're done. Like, at that point, we've already lost. I'm just going to run it back with the pro-red swap. I don't think anything else actually does the job we're looking for here. little floody, but I'm going to keep. At least we have something to try and take down a Risen Reef. Although they won't even bother playing it if we show them this, which would be fine as well. We saw last time that we showed them the vial and they waited until they could protect it with the pump. All right, Buckeye, we'll see ya. I caught Vaporkin rooting for me, everybody. Vaporkin's rooting for me. Or maybe just the suffering that somebody else experiences at the hands of Mana Screw is a more delight to you than me losing. I could see that being a tough choice for a troll. Although, check out our flood. Oh yeah, we're flooding.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
Full house, we got 5 of a kind for us. Alright, come on now. Maybe Arena doesn't want me to make it to Friday with any resources left. Because it doesn't look like we're going to have any after this draft. Ayah. So I feel like we are in big trouble. I don't know. Thank you, ZZ Lark. There's a magic survey out there for those of you who want to take it and do a write-in candidate of going optimal. Oh, I was saying, Vaporkin, you were wishing Mana Screw on our opponent, so therefore you hope I win. That was my assumption, that if you are wishing bad things on our opponent, you must be hoping that I'll win. Are we attacking here? I think we actually might be in block and trade mode with this dumb flyer. I don't know how we're racing with this situation. I'm going to try and block. Scampering Scorcher, we get to Vial in response. And note the pause there. That's an important pause. Oh, I guess, yeah, no. They definitely have +3, +2 here. Yeah, but we have, if they go, we kill the champ in response if they do that. Oh yeah, was it, shoot, somebody made a command for the survey, but I forgot it. I'll find that in a second after. Oh, rooting is maybe the word I was using. Vaporkin didn't get. Yeah, thanks for the explanation. Ah, survey, it does work. Thank you, J Watt and Double D's. It's a long survey. It takes about 15 minutes to fill out, but I kind of like it. Was kind of fun, you know, if you like making your opinion known on magic stuff. So we're gonna do this. Okay, let's make this trade. That's fine. Too late, Vaporkin. You rooted for me. You never get that back. They're playing very carefully with their +3, +2. We need to find something else to help make this all work. Oh, survey's now closed. Well, thank you everybody for trying. And thanks to everybody who did fill out the survey and toss me a mention. Appreciate that. Yeah, Giant would be great here. They don't want to lose the elemental, but I'll continue to try and trade off here. Well, pup, you're on your own. Mama's dead. Okay. get some value with this dude. Nice that he showed up before any of the other targets, and we'll go ahead and put an upkeep stop. Oh, this is an arena quiz. Is there a place for streamer stuff in that one as well? I don't think I've filled that one out. Sorry, Oppo. Not trying to waste your time. Well, we're in a bit of a head game with Oppo here and this Vial. They know, we know, they know that we know, etc. We're gonna get a bow, which we can equip and try and kill the Prismite, and if they want to save it with bounce or you know, whatever, that's fine. Yeah, they tapped out a red, but I still think they have, you know, they can get any color they want. I think they're trying to appear to be a little more out of pumpability than they are. Now, this is like the tragic story of a youngster finding a weapon and discharging it and injuring or killing something. Well, we have Vial. We're holding Vial to respond to any of their pump, and they're holding pump to respond to any of our Vial. That's the head game going on here. I could move the bow, but we'll leave Vial up. We got to keep this game going. I assume they do. Didn't they show? They might not have had green pump, but they had Prismite to filter if they wanted. Yeah, sorry, I'll put the upkeep stop on. Good call. Yeah, not after I killed it, right. But then they immediately untapped and had red available again and stuff, so... Yeah, Oppo's deck is sweet. Let's just be clear about that. Attacking. You need to attack to activate the bow. So, one reason one person wanted to run the Sprite is just to have a flyer that can easily get in with bows. What was that about? Oh, I'm on the Magic channel. Thank you, Wizards, for throwing me up on your channel. Appreciate that. I know there's not too many people watching that channel yet, but maybe that'll help us pick up some viewers here for our closing hour. We're gonna see what we can do about this Cavalier, but it's probably not gonna be much, honestly. And I guess we'll get a second bow. Yeah, I always thought that whenever Magic shows up and it only has one viewer, I thought it was like a fake account or something, but I think it's just literally them firing up their, you know, their stream wasn't even on, and so they just started it. Hello. Yeah, we'll trade the pup for the elemental, definitely. Now, how a pup is wielding two bows and, yeah, funny. Maybe they don't have pump and they're just playing with our heads and using full control. But there was definitely times like where they had where auto pass was pausing for them on a single red, like it's doing here. But let's look for a pause here. We've been kind of playing around +2, +3, +2. But I don't even actually know if that's what's really going on. Yeah, I guess they successfully bluffed us because there was no pause there for that red. Gotta no blocks this and see if we can't find a way off the top. Yeah, we're gonna search a land unless there's a reason to use this. Probably won't be. Also go back to weaponsmith value. Let's see, yeah, we can kill we can actually manage to get the Cavalier dead, amazingly enough. What are they going to get back? They're going to put something on top. But nothing here is too devastating, so we're not dead yet. We're not dead yet. Unfortunately, the Reclaimer is going to be dead. And well, can we cast the spider too? I guess we'll see. Maybe we can cast the spider too. This is where we find out if they have pump of some kind. Obviously, if they can stop this, we were never winning anyway, so this is our final hope. Yeah, and unfortunately we are one short of the spider, but that's the play we had to make. Brawler. Alright, well... Okay, that's not an elemental. They didn't do anything... Kind of suggests they don't have pump, that we may actually survive this turn. Excessively dead. Three, I think, for the elf. Elf was super, like, we never had time to do anything with the elf. It was a little bit better when we were splashing red, because then it gave us something to do. I don't know, folks. Back-to-back 1-2s. Frustrating. It's Magic, though. We had a couple of places where there were some different lines we could have explored to try and pick up one of those wins, but for the most part, we just got outclassed by better decks. So